Hello and welcome back to another episode on Behind the Curve Collecting. Now, guess what? I forgot my new microphone. Excellent. Well done, me. It's been one of those weeks. Right, so I had a completely first world problem last night, and I just decided, you know what? I am going to remedy this by getting a new console. I must, therefore, create as much voucher as I possibly can, and I'm going to try and get a new console. I will transition you to this morning me with those items that I was going to try and create this voucher with. Okay, so very bad times for my PS4. I have had 3 PS4s now, and every single one has broken in one way or another. I've even had one of them brand new, and it was awful when it corrupted itself. It had touch sensor buttons. Anyway, awful. I finally got Gran Turismo 7. It installs absolutely fine. I update the software. This tends to sit around from time to time, and now it's like bricked. Not because of the software update, I don't believe, but it's bricked. I can't even get past press the PS button. Can't get past that, despite the fact that one of my controllers is definitely legitimate, so that shouldn't be an issue whatsoever. Or it's completely dead and unresponsive, and this doesn't even make a noise. Only the eject button will make a noise. So lots of people saying, change your HDMI, make sure that's right first. Did that. Lots of people saying maybe it's a dead PSG, you can swap that out, that kind of thing. I've taken my hard drive out because obviously I was unable to format it because I can't get onto the PS4, and that's going to have like account information on, so I've just taken it out. Thank God. That is something that I do love. PlayStation and 74. You want to upgrade to an SSD, you want to switch out the hard drive storage, go for it. Download the software, install it. Brilliant, nice, excellent. Anyway, I'm going to get straight onto eBay. £35, probably a few pounds too cheap apparently. I have no idea why these sell, but these sell really quickly, really easily for around £40, console only, spares repairs. Very clearly, spares repairs, parts not working, they sell for like 40 quid. Don't know why. Now, by chance, there's an item in my local CEX, which I've had my eye on. It is the discounted one, unfortunately, not the unboxed, but funds are very limited. And by chance, yeah, there's this thing that I could get today if I can trade a load of stuff in and raise a bit of money. So I put together a small little pile to get you out of the way. A small little pile. Now, I've got 3 PS4 controllers. This should be a midnight blue. I have no idea whether it's real. To me, it feels real. It plays absolutely fine. It's got a par code on it and everything on the back. I don't know. The fakes are so good these days. I don't really know what I'm looking for. If that isn't fake, that's like £29 voucher. Awesome. Little USB cable just in case, because you never know with CEX. Dirt Rally 2, I played it for like an hour. Compared to Dirt Rally 1, did not get on with it whatsoever. I have a PC up and running anyway, which will probably play it easier and superior. So okay, fine, that's so many pounds. I'll put it on screen maybe. Red Dead 2, got that cheap on Vinted. That's still a £9 trade. It has got a crack in the case. Don't think CEX are too bothered about that kind of thing. Yeah, £9 trade. It's been a very long time since I've even been into CEX, let alone trading things in. Cyberpunk 2077 on Xbox One. It is smart delivery, so that will automatically download on a series if you have it. I played it for a little bit, and it is a game that maybe I will want to play eventually now that, it's in a good place. You can get mods for it, all kinds of stuff. But I've only got a Series S. And again, something that is going to be far superior on the PC if you've got a PC good enough to handle it. I've had this listed on eBay for like a month or two for like £14. No interest whatsoever. It trades for 11. This is currently £19 in CEX. An Xbox One version of Cyberpunk, that's insane. Assuming I've looked at the right listing. But yeah, it's got the postcards, it's got the slip cover, it's got the little map compendium. It's complete. Actually nice, no one wanted it. Fine, not a problem. I was on a bit of a Guitar Hero kick, and whilst I'm not going to trade in the guitar itself, I picked up Metallica for £1 at boot sale, played it a little bit. This trades for like £5. It's like a £10 or £11 game, which is a little bit crazy. And Aerosmith, the disc is actually doesn't look great, so that only did clean, and I think that's a £3 trade. I put that in, wasn't really impressed with the song list, so not going to keep hold of it. Oh, one of the other discs might actually be a bit funny looking as well. I don't know if it was Dirt Rally or something. Anyway, whatever. Now, this is actually quite a big one. I picked this up on Vinted. In box, not brand new in box, used, but with box. A Xbox One Series controller, Stormcloud Vapor. Now, this is in really good condition. I have used it for several hours. It works, fully functional. looks good. It's practically like new, very, very good condition. Now, I had a very brief look up and sold. As I said, I bought it for about £25. I've used it for quite a while now, probably had it for a few months. And the sold seemed to be around 30, 35, not that strong. I could obviously get my money back quite easily. But CEX, I think they're like £44 trade. They want like 60 or 70 quid for this. Put it on the screen. Mental. I don't know why controllers, they want so much money. There's such a premium on them. But yeah, this is like £47 trade. I've not added any of these things up, because honestly, they're probably going to reject the controller. They're probably going to reject some games. But I'd like to think if they took everything, then that's a fair whack towards this item that I do want. There's going to be some money involved, but remember, that's already gone for £35. By the way, a lot sorry for all the random crap. I've got that Red Dead 2 strategy guide with Red Dead 2 on the PS4, very cheap and vintage. That guide alone, look it up, that's like a £34–40 guide. Got it for about £10–15. I'm going to keep that bad boy because I like my strategy guides. And I'll probably play it on Steam or whatever eventually, wherever it's available on the PC. So yeah, I've got £35 already in the kitty for that. I obviously need to ship that off. I don't like touching my eBay funds until the seller's usually got it, or the buyer's usually got it at least, or something like that. Even though it's for parts that are not working, you don't know of eBay buyers. They're so picky, some of them, it's ridiculous. And then there's a few other bits I'll need to sell to make up this money, because there's still going to be some money involved. Anyway, segue back to whatever I'm doing probably in the shed. Now, hopefully, as you've just seen, my PS4, which is just a 500 gig original base model, I had it left for a few months. It's what I've been playing VR on like ages ago. It just didn't want to play ball, and it wasn't like one particular fault. It was temperamental and two faults. You just couldn't get into the damn thing. I whacked that on eBay, immediately sold for £35, easy peasy. I probably should have put it on for 40, I guess. I don't know why there's such a market for broken PS4s. I have terrible luck with PS4s. I've had 3 of them, even one from new. They've all broken one way or another. I now have had 8 Xbox Ones and their variants over the years, and I have never ever had a single issue with them. However, I do still want a PlayStation in my life. Now, it could easily be another video entirely. PlayStation 5, as well as the Series X counterpart, the prices are insane. They've even increased because of stupid tariffs and inflation and things, even though they are now 5 years old. That's right, they've increased in price and they're over 5 years old. That's insane. I'm not even, and I'm sorry, but the PS5 is an abomination. Nay, and I do not like using this word, it is an abortion of design. I despise to look at that thing. It is ugly. I would have to hide that behind the TV. And that's a strong feeling, I know, but we're off base. PS4. Now, I bought Gran Turismo 7, got it cheap on Vinted, got it, installed it on the PS4, it was all working fine, and then PS4 just decided to just go, nah. Internet said maybe like PSU and stuff. I'm not about to start delving into it, whatever. So, the voucher. Now, hopefully, in the scene that you've just seen, hopefully I totted up, or at least placed on there how much voucher I was hoping to get. I wasn't hopeful on the PS4 controllers because I have terrible luck with those as well. They are so well faked, and they are so often faked as well. And I've certainly picked up my fair share of fake ones, unfortunately, even though they look relatively legit in some basic pictures. Everything actually went really well. I got my entire voucher. They did not accept anything. Now the controllers, both B condition. That was a midnight blue PS4 controller, which they try and sell for loads of money. £29 voucher. It probably would have sold for that much, but because I never know if it's genuine, I don't like really selling PS4 controllers. I don't want to start listing it as genuine just in case. The Xbox Series controller, if you want an A grade, it basically has to be new, even though it was in the box and lightly used, and it really didn't have any real marks. It's just a B. They're not going to stick their necks out and put an A on anything. That's why often mint and A grade things are just never in stock. The employee's not going to stick their neck out, right? Which is fair enough to a degree. So I got the full whack for those. Hallelujah. They give so much for series controllers. Maybe I could have sold it for 30 to 35, but I think I got like 44. I've not got the receipts. I'm so well prepped. Anyway, the games and the controllers and the things that I showed you, I believe, amounted to, I've forgotten now, I think 103, I'll correct myself if I'm wrong, £103, which is excellent. I made a £100 voucher. There'll be something about the title, trying to make a £100+ voucher. First world problem, I wanted to replace my PS4. Now on my list for the longest time, one that I've not really looked at for the longest time either, there's been a particular limited edition PS4. Now yes, they do nice ones. I've not been that involved in like the limited edition scene of PS4s, but this one caught my eye. I would like a PS4 Pro if I'm going to get any of them. And the one that had caught my eye was the Death Stranding one. Now I looked up my local, and these are quite rare. They had a discounted one in. Yes, discounted. So I was ready for it to be rough and ready. However, I was fingers crossed that it had simply been traded in without the matching controller, because that would therefore make it discounted. Unfortunately, bad news, everyone. So it was in the window, Kelsey Priest, and it was, I could tell it looked a little bit grubby, maybe a little bit off in places, a few scratches. But sometimes it can just be, some dirty fingerprints and things on like the white finish. I think it's white and then black and then white. And it's quite nice, I quite like it. Obviously it's on my list. But yeah, so I was like, okay, I'll look at this. I'll trade everything in. I had checked out Cash Converters and the similar shops that I saved before, just in case, on the off chance they had one in as well. They didn't, so I went to CEX last. Please don't trade these things in. Yep, no worries. They all went through, flew through. £103 voucher, perfect. Can I look at this console, please? They got it and they're like, to be honest, this is really badly scratched, it's marked up. It's not looking good. I wasn't in luck with the just trading it in without the match controller, therefore discounted, which I was hoping for. And I was just like, yeah, fair enough. So I didn't get it, but now I have trapped myself into the CEX ecosystem because I have a £100 voucher that I want to put towards one. Now this discounted console is 165. I've not looked up unboxed or box will probably be like 230, 240. Because I think the controller is the really desirable thing. I think that's worth a fair bit of money. So that's probably, I don't know what unboxed was. I think unboxed used to be maybe 210, but it will come with the right controller. And 5-year warranty. That's why I went down this route of not going on Vinted or eBay, because Vinted is 3 days. Breaks after that, doesn't matter. eBay is 1 month. Breaks after that, doesn't matter. It basically has to be defective at point of sale for them to do anything about it. That's why I was hopeful that Cash Converters might have it, because that's a 1-year warranty. But saving that, CEX is actually quite competitive, at least on this, or discounted at least 165. It was in 155, so I'm not sure, maybe they would have given it me for 155 because that was actually the advertised price. It is online for 165. Don't know whether they would have kicked up a fuss about that, but if you display it at price, I think you have to sell it at price. I think that's actually pretty competitive. They look to be around the 140, 150, 160. Occasionally one just goes cheap. I've not looked up, super nice ones, because I was just comparing like basically console only or console with a standard PS4 controller. So I have not lucked in on there. Massive first world problem. Oh no, my PS4 is broken. I need to go out and buy a Pro. You may say, well, why would you even bother with a PS4? It's a retro collecting thing. This thing's like 8 years old, 9 years old, something like that at this point. And I just want a PS4, and if I want a PS4, I want a PS4 Pro, if I can help it. I've got the VR for it. I despise, I'm using very strong words. I do not like the look of the PS5, and CEX in particular charge very strong money for PS5 and Series X's. I think they still charge like £380 for discounted original PS5. At this point, we're on we've had Slims, we've had Pros, we've had revisions of those original ones as well. You don't know what one you're going to get, and they're still charging 2.5 times more than a Pro. A normal Pro is like 150, I think. Anyway, they didn't have anything else nice in stock. They just had your standard black consoles in stock. I want at least a white one, but if I'm going to get one, I might as well get into Stranding one, right? So sucks. So 103 plus 35 for the PlayStation, which I'll be sending off. eBay funds, I can just withdraw those obviously. That's 138. However, I need to take £2.50 off, because whilst I was there, I'm going to choose my 5 for the essentials. Matching disc, of course. I've not been in CEX for quite a long time, but the staff member was like, of course I'll do that for you. You know the deal, and I know what you want. So that was nice to be remembered. I must be one of those special cases, unfortunately. I don't think I have this. I have written down my essentials list to check on my phone. However, I have both children with me, and they are a nightmare when they're together. Not gonna lie. Hallelujah, I do not have it. I can add it to the collection. Thank God. So yeah, take £2.50 away. That's like 135.50 right off the top of my head. Whatever. Good show. Now you probably glimpsed the Red Dead 2 strategy guide. I think that's like a £30 to £40 sale. I think that is the right edition. I don't think there's different editions as such. I don't think there should be a load of stuff with it. Just a strategy guide. If I manage to just list that and sell it for like 30 quid, I'm basically up and around the range of where I need to be. Although I do need to check I do want to just order an unboxed, okay? I think that's the way I'm going. Funds are tight. This year has been a cash is king, so I've not been building a CEX voucher. I don't have any other CEX voucher. This is just spur of the moment. It seemed like it had all come together. PS4 Broken. My local has a Death Stranding edition, limited edition that I really wanted out of the ones that are there that are affordable in stock. You know, it just seemed like it would all come together. It just wasn't quite right, unfortunately. So I got a game out of it. I want to play Gran Turismo 7 and now it's just, whatever. Anyway, that'll be it for this week. It looks like I've just downloaded. There is a new Star Trek game based on Voyager, which is my Star Trek. Might not be everyone's Star Trek, but it's my Star Trek. If you want to check that out, around time of release, hopefully, or at least within a few days of this release, I'm going to have some gameplay on my Behind the Curve gaming channel of that demo. So I'm really looking forward to that game. I've seen a little bit of it. Tried not to spoil it too much for me. It wasn't looking great, but I'm quite looking forward to that because I'm a bit of a Voyager geek and I do love it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please do like, comment and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you so much.